Yes, hi, good morning, Matthieu Andrieu. I'm the head of solution consulting for Finastra, and I mainly look after, let's say, a working capital offering, and I have, let's say, 2 decades of experience. I'm engaged with most of the bank and most of our customers everywhere worldwide. The working capital and especially the documentary trade finance is fully driven by, let's say, the regulation. And we've seen a lot of changes recently in the regulation. Most of the countries such as France, Germany, US, some countries also in Middle East like Abu Dhabi or Southeast Asia, they have adopted new regulation that confirm the e-documents or the electronic document value as equal of the, let's say, physical document. So there is a shift of the business, let's say, from manual processing, paper-based document to electronic document. And it has not only an impact on the technology, but also on the target operating model for most of the banks worldwide. So some of the part of the world, like, let's say, Africa and, let's say, South America, they are not engaged as other countries, but that will come sooner or later for those countries. Most of the banks also, when they think about trade finance or working capital, they are thinking about their operational model, the automation of the processing in their back office system. And this is not the place where the customer experience have been, let's say, enhanced as, for instance, if I compare to retail banking. So, for instance, mobile banking is not something that has been, let's say, a key differentiator for the bank when it comes to trade finance or corporate lending. We've seen now some of the bank, let's say, that want, let's say, to invest this space and they want to dramatically change the customer journey. So we've seen some demand for chatbot, for generative AI, which is the, let's say, the available new technology, but also for mobile banking for those kind of business. We have, let's say, more than 200 banks using our trade finance platform called Trade Innovation. And so we are engaged on a daily, let's say, on the daily frequency with those banks. There are mainly 2 challenges. One is to follow the regulation and to continuously adopt the best practice. So for instance, every year you have, let's say, a new Swift release. In November 2025, for instance, most of the customers, they need to migrate from MT to MX message. That's one of the challenges for the bank, is to continuously be up to date according to those standards. The other challenge is, of course, the definition of an ecosystem. So in the past, most of the bank, they trust one vendor, let's say, to be their provider, their solution provider. Now, let's say the bank, they need to deal with, let's say, a large ecosystem. And so the importance of open API comes, let's say, to the top of their priorities. Being a global player, so there are different, let's say, motions in Asia compared to Europe or compared to US. But something which is a fundamental trend is cloud adoption. So we've seen most of the bank, especially in Western countries, asking for cloud-based solution. And this is the first step to move to, let's say, managed services. So the capability for a software provider like Finastra to become a solution provider and to manage, maintain, upgrade all those solutions. That's a different business model, and that's also a different partnership that we need to agree with the bank. That's a fundamental trend, let's say, for corporate banking. Sibos has always been a great opportunity for Finastra to launch, let's say, new offering. Innovating finance together is our mantra, and with the Nexus, we will offer the capability to the bank, one, to innovate, so they can deal with many innovating partners, using AI, machine learning, blockchain. It's a solution that will be used on top of our corporate banking solution. So it means it's dedicated to the finance. It's driven by business.